Some of those quarterbacks out.
Do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No.
I am not ruling the Buffalo Bills out, but the Miami Dolphins are the best team in this division. And
So I'm cutting you. Wait a minute. Is it still playing? I'm cutting the intro early today because we got a ton of stuff to go over. Let me go ahead and just shut this down. So obviously I know that the sound is working because it's blasting through my phone. So had to cut our intro. We got too much to go over today on Tua Tuesday. So much to go over. And I'm not getting into any conjecture whatsoever. All I'm going to do is just discuss facts with you so you can separate the bullshit from what's really going on. And I'm going to play you a couple of videos, and I'm going to talk about these videos, and then we're going to look at some actual news. So just to let you know, it is 6:31 on Tuesday, December 27th, 6:31. As of right now, I'm going to show you the most up-to-date information regarding Tua's health concerns and where he is. And the very first thing I want to say, despite anybody you've heard from, I don't care if it's ESPN, I don't care if it's Fox Sports, I don't care if it's former players, I definitely don't care about it being, fake Dolphins fans. As of right now, and anybody can say what they want in the comments, I do not prevent that, but as of right now, as we sit here, nobody, and I mean nobody, has confirmed that Tua Tagovailoa suffered a concussion in a Green Bay game. Big asterisk. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he did. What I'm saying is, a fact is the fact. No one, not in the NFL, nobody has confirmed that Tua Tagovailoa has basically received a concussion. If you've heard something elsewhere, turn the channel. If you've read something online, delete it. It's bullshit. As of right now, 6:32 p.m. on Tuesday the 27th, Tua Tagovailoa has not had a concussion confirmation. That's a fact. I challenge anybody to say otherwise. And unless you've examined Tua, unless you've seen a CAT scan, I don't want to hear what you think. I don't care what you think. I wouldn't take your diagnosis for my wife. I wouldn't take your diagnosis for my pet. You don't know him. And am I ranting? No. There's just too much fact to discuss than to even entertain talking about the peanut gallery bullshit. So, first thing I want to do, let's go back to immediately following the press conference after the game. I want to play something for you. This is Tua talking immediately after the game, and I want you guys to hear this.
I might have said the wrong play. I'm not too sure, but there was just some communication errors on that. Yeah, it wasn't intentional. I was just trying to get the play out to the guys and just try to make sure everyone was going in the right spots. But just the miscommunication with the entirety of the play is sort of what went wrong with that interception. I think it stems from me trying to spit the formation out to the guys, the motions, and then when we do break, me realizing how much time I have and then just sending guys already. And there's times where we got to wait for guys to get set so that one takes the ball, one gets off, and then motions. And those were kind of the mishaps with that today. We offensively we just didn't capitalize on our opportunities, and we were killing ourselves with a lot of the penalties that had happened off of explosive plays.
So I'm not a neurologist, and for the most part, I bet you're not a neurologist either. But that was Tua speaking directly after the game. He was talking to press reporters and answering their questions, and he looked, from a layman's perspective, quite lucid. It didn't seem like he had all the signals of dilated pupils and, a foggy mind. He seemed to be answering those questions pretty well. Do we know what was going on in his head? Was he feeling dizzy? He didn't look like he was struggling. But again, this is just us peering in, just being voyeurs on a situation. None of us knows, but that was him directly after the game. So something happened. Something happened between the time that he gave that interview, from the time he took that press conference to the time when Mike McDaniel took the podium yesterday. And so here's what Mike McDaniel had to say yesterday.
And then we also placed Tua in the concussion protocol.
Posted a video suggesting that Tua might have suffered a concussion late in the first half. Was he evaluated at all during the game for a concussion? Do you know when he sustained it?
I'm not totally sure. This is something that just came across my plate a couple hours ago.
Okay, so this is 24 hours later. Just so you understand the timing of that, the first cut was Tua doing his press conference after the game, as he always does. Now, 24 hours later, Mike takes the podium on Monday and says, hey, I just got notified that Tua's in a concussion protocol. It just came across my desk. It didn't happen after the game. It didn't happen early Monday morning. It just seems to cross my desk. Nobody went to the head coach and said, hey, we got a problem. It came across his desk. So unless you're saying he's a liar, which I'm not going to entertain at all because there's no factual basis for that, he didn't know. Somebody brought the information to him and said, hey, listen, Tua has been placed in the concussion protocol. Who did that? Who was the one who placed him in the protocol? We don't know that. Was it a mandate from the NFL? We don't know that. Was it a doctor? Did Tua on his own go to a doctor and say, hey, man, I'm not feeling well. There's something not right here. And before he even went to the head coach, did he go to the doctor and say, something's foggy. Can you guys check me out? Whatever it was, Mike McDaniel did know about it. Unless you want to call him a liar, you got to take him at his word.
As far as the game was concerned, there was no one recognized anything with regard to any sort of hit. I can't really tell you exactly when it was. I'm not totally positive on that, but
I'm not positive of that. I'm not sure if it was on that hit that the video showed. Everybody has seen that video. I'm not going to play it right now because I don't want to get dinged by the NFL for any copyright issues. But it looked to us, again, to us as laymen, to us peering in, to us voyeurs, it looked like he banged his head. And of course, the performance that he had in the second half kind of made people think, hey, we're looking at a Jekyll and Hyde situation here. This guy was nailing it in the first half, and in the second half, he came out and played like dog shit. Did something happen? Did he bang his head? Again, we're adding up things. We're suggesting this would happen, but nobody, as of right now, has confirmed that, even Mike McDaniel.
it was something that he met with the doctors today and discussed some symptoms, and they
Okay, I want to stop there. He said the doctors discussed some symptoms. So those symptoms, and you can look it up, the different things. I don't think it was ataxia. I think that's the word ATAXIA. Although that's when your hands cramp up or you lose motorly function. It wasn't that. So was it dizziness? Was it headaches? Was it trembling? Was it not being able to sleep Sunday night? Having had concussions, not I say quite a few, but I had 3 concussions during my entire football career. I know they sent me home and told my mom, make sure, this is back in the old days, don't let him sleep for more than an hour and a half at a time. Wake him up. So did he have trouble sleeping? Different things. Was he trembling when he was trying to hold a fork or a knife? Was he slurring his words? Did he complain of blurry vision while watching TV? What were these symptoms? Nobody has discussed this anywhere. There has been no disclosure, as there shouldn't be. This is a matter between Tua Tagovailoa and his medical team. That's it. You have no business knowing what the hell's going on. I don't have any business. That's his personal medical team. And there's so many people on Twitter and everybody else basically diagnosing what's going on and saying this is his third concussion. And for you to say it's his third concussion, then you're ignoring the results of the prior test and analysis where they said he didn't have a concussion during the Buffalo game. I know what it looked like. We all know what it looked like. It walked like a duck and quacked like a duck, so we all assumed it was a concussion. But the doctors examining him across the country said, no, he didn't suffer a concussion during the Buffalo game. So it's your prerogative to call him a liar, but you're not presenting me or anybody else with any facts. I know it did look that way, but again, for you to dispute that and just automatically say there's a third concussion here, you're not presenting any facts other than what you see, and you're not a doctor. You're not a neurologist. So it's an opinion.
From that on, as you guys know, from there on, that's between Tua and the doctors, and we'll move forward as it.
It's between Tua and his doctor. What happens next, how it happens, when it happens, is between Tua and his doctor. Doesn't involve you, doesn't involve me. I'm not the one who's saying this. This is the protocol that has to go through.
Information is projected towards us.
Doctor sure that Tua did in fact have a concussion over the past day or two.
Okay. One of the reporters, who sounds like Barry Jackson, asked him point blank, are you positive? Can you confirm that Tua had a concussion over the last day or so? I like how he posed that because he didn't say it happened on that play. Whatever developed post-game, whatever happened after the game, what did he exhibit? Can you confirm to us that he had a concussion? And here's McDaniel's answer.
To be, were doctors sure that Tua has had a concussion? Because obviously you can go in protocol even without certainty of that.
And I wonder how many of you knew that. That's very, very important. I haven't seen anybody talk about that anywhere. You can be placed in the concussion protocol without having a confirmation of a concussion. You get that? You can be placed in the protocol without having the confirmation of having a concussion.
Are they sure that he did have a concussion?
As much as I know, they have he's displayed symptoms, and they enacted the protocol, which is all that needs to happen before you have to by the player's health go through that whole process as they should.
So I want to know, and we're never going to know, and I'm going to pose that question to you. You guys tell me what he just said. They initiated the concussion protocol. There is so much we don't know. Who is they? Who is they that initiated the concussion protocol? Did it come from the spotter up in the booth who after the game said, I want this checked out? Was it the NFL? We know damn sure it wasn't Mike McDaniel. And we saw Tua at the press conference. I don't know if it was him who initiated it, but so far there's so much vagueness to this. We don't even know who initiated the concussion protocol, but just by saying he's in concussion protocol, everybody ran with the story. Had to be first on Twitter, had to say it first. Oh yeah, he's sick. He's got another concussion. It's his third concussion. He should retire. He should get out of the league. And nobody knows anything. And I'm taking the time to go through this step by step, so you guys at least are leaving here, if you want to be, a bit more informed. Let's continue.
It's a little early. Like I said, I only found out a couple hours ago.
So will Teddy start on Sunday, or is that not yet clear?
No, that's it's too soon to.
Will Teddy Bridgewater start on Sunday? Everybody else has already packed Tua in ice and said, he's not going to play. He will not be playing against the Patriots. Not going to happen. The head coach just went, hey, man, I don't know. It's too soon. I don't know what's going on right now. Again, do you think he's lying? But he just said Teddy will take the reps, obviously because Tua's in a concussion protocol. But are you making a definitive call right now that Teddy Bridgewater is going to start? No, I can't tell you that. So if Tua had a concussion, if depending on the grade of the concussion, where he would go through the protocols and how he has to work his way through it. Today is Tuesday. They play on Sunday. How many days is it before he has to go through the steps of where he is right now? Because he could be already at step 3 to clear the protocol. Nobody's talking about that. And it's indicative to me. The fact is that the head coach just said, unless he's playing some strategic game against the Patriots, the head coach just said on Tuesday, actually on Monday, I don't know who's starting yet. I don't know who's starting yet. So he hasn't ruled him out. So why is everybody else telling, hey, listen, we need to put Tua on mothballs?
To really tell, you just know that someone goes into the protocol, and you have to be ready to really do whatever with that. I know Teddy will prepare as though he's starting, and we'll see as the week goes.
We'll see as the week goes. So he hasn't precluded Tua from starting on Sunday. What does it mean? I don't know. I'm not even going to offer you any conjecture. I'm letting you guys hear it yourself. So when you hear all the BS being talked about in social media, you can understand right now, hey man, there's a lot of stuff here we don't know. Unless Mike McDaniel is playing one hell of a game of poker, which he could be, I don't know. But it seems as though he's waiting to see if Tua gets cleared, which tells me if he's going to get through the protocol, having had a concussion earlier in the year, he's already a couple steps into the protocol release. So, I don't know. You guys tell me.
Worried are you about Tua if in fact he had a concussion, whether it was his second or his third this year? I guess we'll never know that with certainty.
We'll never know that for certainty. Why would, if it's Barry Jackson, why would he have just said that? We'll never know it for certainty. Why is everyone so tight-lipped? Mike McDaniel's not saying anything. Obviously, Tua's not saying anything. The NFL's not really saying anything. I've got some stuff I'm going to show you. It came from the NFL. Who triggered the initiation of protocol? What grade level is he at the protocol? What step is he in to get cleared, if he's going to get cleared? No one's talking, but except everybody on social media who's now put an MD after their name, they're all talking. And of course, the shitty Miami Dolphins fan base. I am completely over this fan base. Call me a Tuananer and all the shit that they call me. I just like to break down fact. And if I talk to you, you don't have any. You don't have shit to back up what you're saying about this, that, or the other thing. Nothing. Let's continue.
For you about it personally.
No, I think I just want guys to really be done right by the information we have, the science, all the medical.
I thought that myself was a real indicator. I want the guy to be done right by. Well, if Mike McDaniel didn't initiate the protocol, if the Dolphins medical team seemingly isn't in control, who is? Because why would you even think that the guy wouldn't be done right? If you had confidence in what was happening, you obviously have no control over it. But if Tua's doctors were in control, he's going to be done right by. Who's he worried that they're not going to be done right by? You got to listen. He's a very methodical speaker. He just said something. I just hope the guy is done right by. By who? These are the kind of questions I have when I just break down what somebody says. By who? Let's continue.
Really, all the medical expertise that we rely on. I care very deeply about each and every player. I take that serious. So, I just want him to get healthy and have peace of mind in that regard, and that's first and foremost. And then, whatever those circumstances are after, you deal with after. But it's about the human being and making sure he's squared away.
Okay, that's the part that really got to me personally when he said he's a human being. And I just hope, things, football second, human being first, father, husband, the whole the whole 9 yards of him being done right by somebody, and then the human being that has been just destroyed and annihilated on social media. Nobody wants to think about that. They're just calling him trash and garbage and retire and get in mothballs. You're done. You're fragile. You're gonna break. You're the plastic man. All the stuff I've been seeing, not realizing that this guy is somebody's son, father. What's wrong with people? And again, especially the Miami Dolphins fan base. So I've gone a long time right now. I've got a lot more to get to, but I'm going to take some comments on here. So I've got I'm looking at some people on here. Just it's amazing. I can just see some of the comments from people. Stop crying. Stop whining. They don't have anything to say. They don't have anything to say. Let me see if I can take one that's not just over the top crap. Yeah. Let me just take this one. You're crying about Tua every day. I'm not crying. Jeremy says here. Did it come up? Yeah. Miami has the worst fans. Fake. Oops. I should have taken that one. I'm sorry. But yeah, you're right. I'll have to cut that later. The only person who knows is Tua himself. Let him speak. That's the only person who knows. I don't understand the trolls that come in here and they say that. I mean, I see people in here. Barry, stop it! You're basically riding Tua and let him go. Come on, Barry, shaking my head. What do you guys get out of this? What do you get out of coming in here and you think you're gonna change my mind? The only way you would change my mind is with facts. I'm way too old, way too long in the tooth to sit here and go through trolls. Think they're saying something. You're just enhancing and underscoring your idiocy. Let's see. Gerald Franklin. Wow, this thing is spinning quickly. Gerald says, and I hope I'm wrong about him having this second concussion, but if he has, his health comes first, because even if he is the next Brady as far as playing a long time, he can't play forever. Nope, that's true. Absolutely. But if you notice, there's a couple ifs in your comment here. And that's all I'm pointing out. These people don't even want to hear it. Yeah, Bahamas, you're absolutely right. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I really don't know. They seek out people who are talking about Tua. They go after people who are talking about Tua and just seem to think that it's okay. I don't care. No wonder Tua is not on social media. But yeah, you really not see that. Barry's just saying the guy is human. He's human. Man, what is wrong with these people? Grandizer says, hey, Grandizer, with the Catfly trolls every single Dolphins group and people treat him like he is some royalty. Clowns. Clowns to the left of me, clowns to the right of me. All they're just coming out of they don't realize that they are underscoring. They are putting a big asterisk on everything I'm saying. It's been amazing these last couple of days watching stuff on Twitter and YouTube and these trolls that come out, just disgusting. They hate the kid, completely hate him. And you know what? If he doesn't play this weekend and he doesn't play against the Jets, hey, you're going to get a taste of what it's like without Tua. Because I'm telling you right now, nobody's coming. Ooh, yell all you want from the mountaintop. There's nobody coming for a rescue. You think they're going to pay Lamar Jackson $200+ million? He's won one playoff game. One. Jimmy G, as I said in my video, he's fared better. I mean, he won a playoff game. I think he's won 5 playoff games in his career. He's 31. He's banged up. You think they're going to pay him big dollars? No, ain't going to happen. So I don't want Tua to be hurt. And I don't want to see Tua re-injure himself or put himself in jeopardy. But these people who want Skyler to come in and be a quarterback and let's go get somebody, they're delusional, absolutely delusional. Let's see, please help. What do we got here? You need to stop. Take away his first read and he panics 90% of the time. So then why are you here? If you guys who are in here trolling hate Tua so much. Why are you here? What's your purpose? You think you're going to convince us who think the guys could be a good quarterback? Wow. Okay. So I was gonna take some more comments here. They're going so fast, but some of these people are just absolutely rabid nuts. Thanks, Tony. Thank you for saying it right. All I'm asking people, trolls or not, find the facts. If you can't find a fact, then you have no argument. Telling me or telling other people to move on and forget them. Why? You haven't given us any facts. None whatsoever. And James Wilder, yeah, exactly. Enough with the Lamar crap. Injured the past 2 years. Yep. And still one playoff game. One. And he's looking for a contract north of $200 million. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Let's see. Look at all the trolls. Look, yeah, I know the trolls are just taking over. So I don't have time to go through all these troll nuts. Thanks for coming. Though you're helping with the algorithm, so thanks in that regard. But these people are freaks, absolute freaks. I mean, it's amazing. Somebody says I'm gaslighting. Wow, these people are really angry. Really angry. And like Steve says, Tua haters, pack your bags. Leave. If you don't like it, leave. Unless someone's paying you to do this crap. Yeah, Tony, it's facts. I'm giving them facts. So I'm about to give them some more facts here because, and Mark, you're absolutely right. I'm going to take this comment and I'm going to move on. Barry, the Miami face should be ashamed, but they aren't. I lived up north. I went to Yankees games. I went to Red Sox games. I went to Philadelphia Eagles games. I saw some of the worst fans. I went to Philadelphia, what do they call it? The Flyers, hockey games. I've seen some of the worst fans you can imagine. I've never seen anything like Miami Dolphins fans. I've never seen people so insane. I've watched and looked at some people's Twitter profiles where they're cheering 1 minute and literally saying he's a bum the next. How do you do that? That's not normal. So anyway, let's continue with some actual facts here because it doesn't seem like everybody wants to hear facts. Well, where's my thing here? I have to get that off the screen. Okay, so let me just check here where I put it. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you about some stuff I saw on Twitter. And I'm going to start and I'm going to try to do this in as much of a chronological way as possible. Where the hell is it? Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Okay. Let's look at some things. So when I looked at this on Twitter earlier, boom, here we go. Okay. This was Barry Jackson. He goes, as a result, there was no neurological examination of Tua during the game. None. There's nothing in the concussion protocol system that requires medical examination every time a player hits his upper half of body on turf. No, there is no requisite. There's nothing that says, hey, he fell down. The only thing that could happen is a spotter up in the booth can say he's wobbly. Let's go ahead and see if he's concussed. That didn't happen. So then he said, and this is pretty important. Again, we have Twitter flooded with ex-players, podiatrists, people work on your feet, TV pundits, electricians saying Tua shouldn't play again this year or ever. Why can't everyone just leave this to Tua's doctors and Tua? Profundity right there for you. They'll decide what's best, and unlike everyone else, they have access to his medical records. You see all the trolls in here that are spamming like crazy, which I'm going to ignore. They don't have that. They don't have any access to his medical records. They just want him gone. They just want him not to play, not just this year, but ever. Barry Jackson nailed it on this one. So Barry then posted a thread by Judy Batista, which I'm going to go through. So Judy Batista's first thing was she talked to Dr. Alan Sills, and if you don't remember, he's the chief medical officer for the NFL who was involved in the Cincinnati game concussion, about the Tua concussion situation. He's interviewing on Total Access NFL at 7 p.m. So in 1 minute. So I'm going to record that. Actually, I have it recorded. He said Tua showed no injury behaviors and reported no symptoms during the game. Fact. Nothing. And it's in quotation marks. The doctor said nothing that would have triggered the concussion protocol. So what did? What triggered it? Who triggered it? McDaniel doesn't know. Judy Batista doesn't know. Barry Jackson doesn't know. I don't know. And you don't know. What happened that triggered the concussion protocol when nobody saw any injury? Very weird. Very weird. Judy continues. Sill said a small number of patients with concussions, not just athletes, people who fall down and bump their head, present symptoms on a delayed basis. Could be hours or several days the symptoms could be delayed. He said the player deserves kudos for speaking up, and team deserves kudos for immediately putting him in a protocol. Now, I'm not sure if she meant what she just said. There's your answer. Tua, he said the player deserves kudos for speaking up, which means Tua said to somebody, hey man, I'm not feeling too good. So sometime after he did the press conference, he went to a doctor somewhere, spoke to somebody. He said the player deserves kudos for speaking up. Tua is the one who initiated the medical assistance. I don't think he initiated the protocol, but he went to somebody. He spoke up. Now you know. Nobody else is telling you. I'm telling you right now. Tua spoke up and went to a medical doctor somewhere and said, I ain't feeling too good. I'm feeling, my neck hurts, or I've gotten a little dizzy, I got a little buzz. He said the player deserves kudos for speaking up. Tua was the one who spoke up. Mystery solved. If you're still watching, if you start at 6:30, now you know where it came from. Don't know who triggered the protocol. It may have been innocent. Let's say Tua said, man, I'm hurting. I got a headache, feel a little bit dizzy. Boom, hey man, you're in a concussion protocol right now. You just said the magic words and we're going to stick you in a protocol. Could that have happened? Absolutely. Many times after a game, I went, damn, I hurt. Buzzing, man. I got a headache. I can't get this headache to stop. Back then, they're like, oh, here's some aspirin, go home, sleep, and get something for dinner. You'll be okay. And most of the times, that's what happened. Not now. Not now. If you speak up and say, hey, man, I'm not feeling too good, boom, you're in a concussion protocol. Let's see. Judy says, Dr. Sill said a small number of players will suffer more than one concussion in a season. So this isn't new. This isn't new by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a small number. Anybody with a concussion goes through the same return to play sequence, including graded exertion protocol with no symptoms. Remember, there's steps that you have to take to come back from a concussion, evaluated by numerous doctors, including an independent consultant. So once you're in that protocol, now they're going to start looking at you and say how much exercise you can take. How bad is it, the symptoms you're showing? Are the symptoms showing that you're going to fall down if you get out there and play? You got blurry vision. You're seeing 4 defenders instead of just 2. Are you seeing 4 receivers instead of just 1? What was it that you saw that you had to report that now numerous doctors are going to sit back and understand what you're doing? Not a troll, not some people on Twitter, not a podiatrist, not another NFL player who's trying to intimate what they went through. Numerous doctors. So if he gets cleared, when he gets cleared, if he gets cleared, it's going to be by numerous doctors. Once all evaluations have been made, should Tua be allowed to play again this season? That's the question she posed to the doctor. Sills, the chief medical officer of the NFL, said when all data is collected, the doctors will explain to the player the situation and allow him to have a voice in the decision making. Hey Tua, here's what we found. Here are all the pros. Here are all the negatives. Here's what could happen. Here's what you seem clear of. Right now, we're recommending X, Y, and Z. What do you have to say? At that point, Tua will say whatever he's going to say. And then a decision is going to be made whether he'll play again this year. Very simple when you look at it that way. Sills, another quote. Our protocol is to make sure the athlete appears to be recovered, but we still, with today's technology, can't really estimate the risk of future injury. So CAT scans and MRIs and everything else can't say whether you're going to get hurt again in the future or not. Ask J.J. Watt that, who just retired, and he had heart problems and he got zapped because of AFib and came back and played. But nobody questioned that, or Kenny Pickett, or a number of other players. We have to make sure the athlete is fully recovered, and then make sure their voice, Tua's voice, and their autonomy, what he decides, is respected in this decision-making process. And that's a quote. So Tua is going to be involved in whatever this decision-making process is going to be. Sure, he could opt out and say, you know what, I'm heading back to Hawaii, and we're going to get a nice mansion on the beach and live out our life with our new family. Could say it. Do I think he'll say that? Nope. I could be 100% wrong, but I wouldn't blame him if he did. And that's the difference between these trolls and real fans. I respect his decision. I respect what he wants to do. I respect that he'll talk to the people most important to him. His mom, his dad, his wife, his preacher, his reverend, probably some other people, and say, here's what the doctors told me. What do you think I should do? And from that point, he's going to have the autonomy to make his decision. Why do people have a problem with that? I don't know. And then Barry said, today was the final day, per league rules, to do something with Eichenberg, encouraging at least that Tua and Chubb and Ingold weren't put on IR. So, if Tua was going to miss the rest of the season, including whatever playoffs happen or not happen, the Dolphins would have put him on IR. Today was the last day. He didn't go on IR. They put Gaskin on IR. They took Liam off, but Tua didn't go on IR. So I'm hoping you understand what that means and all this stuff that you've seen so far. And then I saw this tweet by, before that, let me look at some comments here, because I hope it's still not crazy in here. Yeah, it is. Tua needs to retire. Clown ass fan base, like Barry said. Yeah. Just like Barry said, you're the type of people that microwave their food and get angry when they have to wait 30 seconds. Yeah, I don't understand it. As I'm sitting here, I'm looking at some of these comments, and it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable how they're all just, it's crazy. I don't understand. And nobody can explain it. Tua is our guy and a good quarterback. We need him to be able to win. Don't listen to the haters. He proves what he can do when this is really just his second full year in the league and his first in this system. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's crazy. It just keeps going and going and going. It really is baffling. If this fan base, and I don't know why these guys here have jumped in the way they have, but it's just nuts. Getaway, Greg. I think we're going to have to get that. Can we get to one of those puffy helmets like Patrick Mahomes, where he won't look cool, but it will protect him? I bet if we see him again, he's going to have one of them fluffy helmets. I bet you. He's going to look like Kazoo from the Flintstones. Oh my God, I'm dating myself. Remember Kazoo? Kazoo had that big helmet when he was talking to Fred and Barney. Well, Patrick Mahomes wears one. A couple other guys wear them. They're kind of huge on somebody's head. Tua is too injury prone. He very should be in his losers cause a bit. No, I'm reading some of them. Barry, you shouldn't read these losers' comments and paying them attention. That's all they want is attention. But they're not getting it. You guys aren't talking with them. I'm not going to show it. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're just crazy. So, so here we go talking about the fan base here, and it's funny because Nick Hicks, who is Tua's trainer, said this: "Fake people showing fake love. That's what this place is," and it's so true. Like I said, I've seen some people who call themselves Dolphins fans say something an hour earlier praising the Dolphins, and then an hour later saying, Tua should be put in mothballs, and I'm being kind with what I'm saying. These people are just off the cuff. They don't deserve to have Tua Tagovailoa as quarterback. That's just how I feel. I feel, and like I posted yesterday, Tua should leave Miami. If it weren't for the fact that he doesn't read social media, he says, then I would say just go ahead and leave these people. They're idiots. This fan base is nuts. I've never seen anything like it. Nuts. And, Miami Dolphins. This is the one where they activated Liam Eichenberg and placed Myles Gaskin on injury reserve, but they didn't put Tua on injury reserve, which says a lot. So I have been involved in advertising and marketing for a long, long time. And I think I know some of what's going on with ESPN. Somebody had sent me something where Mitch Morse missed 5 weeks in a row and had his 6th concussion this year. Still playing. No one seems worried about his life after football. Plus, he is a center, which I was. Yeah, you're banging your head on every play, just about. 6 concussions. Not a single word about him having to retire or go away. No one says it. And so what I said was they really don't care about Kenny Pickett, another one with multiple concussions. They don't care about Mitch Morse. You can fill in the next name. They don't care. The reason they talk about Tua, and I've made a number of videos, is because when you talk about Tua, you get the trolls like you see right now. They bring eyeballs. People want to know what's going on with Tua. That's how popular he is, and that's how hated he is. They can't help it. It's like moth to flame. They need the eyeballs. And when you have the eyeballs, you get clicks. You get clicks, and obviously you see it. I posted a thumbnail about Tua injury update, I believe it said. And the trolls all show up. Eyeballs bring clicks. Clicks bring the advertisers. Starting to see this now? You see where this is going? The reason why Stephen A. and all the guys on ESPN and Bart Scott and Get Up and all these guys talk about Tua, because we all watch. We all tune in. We all look to see what they have to say. We want to know what Rich Eisen says. We may not like what Colin Cowherd has to say, but we're going to watch. And we're going to watch Mina Kimes. And we're going to watch and see what Mike Greenberg and the guys on ESPN Get Up are going to say. And because you watch, you further the interest or hate on Tua Tagovailoa. It's that simple. That click, those eyeballs bring advertisers. Those advertisers mean money. If they talked about Kenny Pickett 4 or 5 times a week, if they talked about Kenny Pickett 4 or 5 times a day, you think anyone would care? No. They're not going to tune in for Kenny Pickett. You think if they talked about Mitch Morse, a center, having 6 concussions, anyone's going to tune in? You think Stephen A. can talk about Mitch Morse? Oh, he got to stop. No one's going to watch. You think Emmanuel Acho can talk about Kenny Pickett? Nope, not going to do it. Why? No one's going to watch. Joy Taylor going to talk about Kenny Pickett? Nope. No one's going to click on the Twitter videos and speak. It's not going to happen. What people have to understand is Tua Tagovailoa is a lightning rod. Love him or hate him, as many people in marketing have said, I don't care. Just keep talking about me. That is the penultimate when you're a marketer. That is the top. When you can drive so much engagement, whether you like him or whether you hate him, whether you're for him, whether you think he's a bum, the advertisers don't care about your affinity. They care about your demo and your psychographics. Hey, you're a football fan of some sort. You're this age group. You're male or female. I got a product I can sell that you're going to want, and I know it because I have so much data on you. I can tell you, right now, you guys don't know. I can tell you, maybe not you personally, but I can tell you what a 25-year-old male in Fort Lauderdale has bought on a credit card in the last 72 hours. Yep, I can do it right now. And I can use that information to my benefit because I'm an advertiser. That's what this is all about. They're fanning the flames. It's like Survivor. They're trying to get the fire hotter and hotter. Let's keep talking about Tua. You notice when he was, they lost 3 games in a row, it kind of died down. Hey, there's nothing really to talk about. Dolphins suck. Hey, Tua got a concussion. Oh my God, let's talk about it 24/7 because it makes money. Now, you don't have to believe me, but I've been in the business a long time, and I know how to market. I know how to market very, very well. I've sold everything from pizza to makeup for some clients, and we knew what the data was. I even was involved in a political campaign a few years ago, and I knew how to get eyeballs on a post, how to get eyeballs on a video, how to get eyeballs to get people to engage in the comments, which they're doing right now. I know how to do that. If I know how to do that, and I worked in a large advertising agency here in South Florida for a number of years, the big ones on Madison Avenue, they know what they're doing as well. ESPN knows exactly what they're doing, and they're using Tua's injury, health, whatever, to drive eyeballs, to drive money. Don't be a pawn. And it's, basically I'm going to take some more comments after this, but this was something that I just wanted to pose a question to you, something I posed. Not a single person, not one person, not anybody in these comments, not a single person, not a troll, not a fan, not one of you has had the opportunity or have the expertise to examine Tua and to examine his test and make any diagnosis. Everything is just bullshit in the wind. That's why I wanted to talk about this today and say, hey, the facts. Why won't people accept facts? Why do trolls want to throw out all kinds of shit? Oh, he's plastic and everything else. Why do we, as fans of Tua, say no? He can do it. Well, the facts are, you can look at his numbers. There was a tweet today that showed even with these losses, he's still like the 1 or 2 rated passer in the league. Oh no, but he made those numbers against garbage teams. Do you understand? You want a fact? Here's a fact for you. Let me go ahead and just move to some fact for you. There are going to be 18 teams in the NFL that don't make the playoffs. 18 of them. None of them, except maybe Zach Wilson, deservedly, get the kind of vitriol and hate that Tua does. None of them. Matt Ryan got benched. Matt Ryan's been in the league for a long time. The Colts blew a lead. Matt Ryan gets benched. Don't see a lot of shit about him. Why not? Nobody cares. Unless you live in Indianapolis, nobody cares. How about Mitch Trubisky? Steelers are like trying to get into the playoffs. They bench Kenny Pickett, so they put in Mitch Trubisky. Where's all the vitriol about Mitch Trubisky? Why isn't Stephen A. talking about Mitch Trubisky? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I could go through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback on the other 18 teams that won't be playing in the playoffs, and you don't hear anything about them. No, not a single word do you hear about those teams. Go ahead and look it up on yourself. Go to ESPN, look at the standings. Just go through your mind who's out there and what they're playing. Matt Stafford's been hurt. He's had a couple of concussions. You don't hear anything about it. Don't even Kyler Murray hurt. Don't hear. Talk about small and frail. Kyler Murray's hurt. Don't hear a word about him. Not a single word. Why not? I'm bringing you facts here. Why do you not hear about Kyler Murray stinking up the joint? Even Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's played like crap. There's been some stuff said about him, but not in a voluminous manner that people talk about Tua. Why not? Denver sucks. Coach got fired. They're upside down. How come you're not talking about it? Why is everybody trolling and supporting Tua Tagovailoa? Think about that. What happens with Tua from here on out is only up to Tua, his doctors, and his family. None of the trolls, nothing I say matters. It's fact. It's fact-based. As much as I want him to play, as much as you want him to go away, doesn't matter. It's not your decision. It's not my decision. I just hope, in this, hour we spent here that we talked about fact. I'm not whining. I'm not complaining. I'm not crying. My ears tearing because I've got allergies. But it is what it is. LeShun, you're absolutely right. I said this in one of my videos. It comes up too small. That Tua is really just in his second full year in the league, and it's his first year in this system. He's essentially, this is where people are going to real freak out. He's essentially a rookie. First year in rehabilitation from a catastrophic injury. Fact. Second year, played under a coach that openly tried to destroy him. Fact. Third year, first year head coach with a new playbook, and he's had to learn it. And they still, as he said earlier, have communication problems. During the live broadcast, I brought it up to you guys, and I said, look at Aaron Rodgers. He gets out of the huddle. He's at the line with 14 or 15 seconds left. Watch the Dolphins. Tua gets out of the huddle. He calls the play, and there's 5 or 6 seconds left. That shouldn't be happening. But the trolls don't look at that. They just say he sucks, and he made a bad throw. I'm not excusing him. I'm just saying, if the Miami Dolphins got a new quarterback next year that wasn't named Jimmy G, what do you think is going to happen next year? What would you think would happen with some other quarterback? I don't know, Matt Ryan, Marcus Mariota, who knows? You get your wish and somebody comes in. Do you think they're going to pick up the playbook in 1 year, regardless of their ability? No, it ain't going to happen. Mike DeRusso, I like what you say here. Tua will get the reads down, the offense will get the plays down, the Dolphins will be insane next season. Yeah, this is a process. I've said it many times. Stephen Ross didn't pull out the checkbook and say, okay, Mike, you got 1 year to win the Super Bowl. That's it. If you don't make the Super Bowl in year 1, we're going to give you the Nathaniel Hackett job and get rid of you. We're going to bring Sean Payton in, and then maybe we can bring in 46-year-old Tom Brady. But, you got 1 year. You know that didn't happen. You know it never happened. But yet, people still say that kind of crap. I think what you meant to say was everything's going to be okay with Tua Barry. I love your commentary. You do a great job. Thank you. I try my best. I try to bring fact. I don't like to engage the nut jobs out there. But, they're there. So this guy says, Miami claimed themselves Super Bowl bound in the offseason. Okay, in case you've never put on a pair of shoulder pads, I'm going to break something to you. This might be a shock to you. But in July, when everybody reports to camp, every single damn player on every single team in the NFL across the country believes they're Super Bowl bound. That's probably one of the most idiotic statements ever, but it tells me that you've never played the game. Nobody shows up in July for summer camp and goes, you know what, man, I hope we're at least 8-8 this year. I just hope we get to 500. Nobody says that. Hey, you know what? If we can just win 5 games this year, I would be happy. Nope, nobody says that. You're a friggin' athlete. You're a friggin' professional athlete. You're at the top of the food chain. You are a winner. It's bred into us from the time we played midget football. You can win. You got the goods. You're here because we wanted you here. You're here because you're the best of the best of the best. Get out there and kick some ass and let's win the Super Bowl. They never say to you, hey, you're here because we don't have anybody else. You're here because we're going to let you fill a space until we can find somebody better. And you're here just hopefully so, we can win a couple games. That doesn't happen. That's what these people don't understand. Miami claimed themselves to be Super Bowl bound in the offseason. I hope they damn well did. I hope every player went into that locker room and go, guys, we're going to win it this year. Because Mike McDaniel, Stephen Ross, Chris Greer would have it no other way. You idiots. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody goes into camp going, I'm hoping we're okay. I hope we just get to where we need to get to. You got to get in the head of a mindset of a player, of an athlete. Stop being a stupid, trolly fan. Every single person on that squad, even the guys who got cut, want the ring. They want the ring at the end of the season. Nobody is showing up to go home in basically late December, early January. Wake up, man. Wake up. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So, I mean, there's so many spams in here. I can't get to some of the people. Barry should have better subscribers than us, but he's stuck with us. No, I'm not stuck with you. I thank you. I want you all to, I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. I hope you had, and let me just say it to my Asian friends, or not Asian friends, but, Hawaiian and Samoan. Mele Kalikimaka. I know Grandizer's going to freak out because I said it again. I'll say Kwanzaa. I don't care. I hope you all had the best holiday you had. And I'm wishing you, and we're going to talk before the end of the year, obviously, I'm wishing you the most safe, healthy, and prosperous new year for 2023 that you can possibly have and make for yourself. Even if you're a troll, I want you to have a great 2023. All right, guys, I've been here long enough. I've talked my ears off. I can't stand all the trolling in here, but let's get him. Let's see what happens in the next day or so. Will he play? Will he not play? We're all going to know. We're all going to know as soon as he knows, as soon as he tells everybody what's going on. Wishing him the best. And believe it or not, even if you're a troll, I'm wishing